We have been told in different ways and most of the time what to do, but most of the time we have not been taught how to do the things. And that has been some of the challenges and one of the crucial and main challenge that we face in our lives. And most of us, wherever we are, is that we are so much full of informations, but there is no really the understanding of the information we have. And therefore we found ourselves not progressing in life based on the things we have. We are so much loaded, but there is no application of the knowledge we have. And this is because of that main problem, which is know the things but not knowing how to do the things. And today I'm going to share with us in Proverbs chapter 4 and from verse 20 to 22. And the subject is how to make the word work. And when I'm speaking about the word, I'm speaking of the word of God. And this is the way we can do the practicality of the word of God in our lives, and we see results. And Proverbs chapter 4 verse 20 says, "My son, attend to my words, incline thine ear unto my saying. Let them not depart from thy eyes, keep them in the midst of thy heart, for they are life unto those who find them, and health to all their flesh." So with this understanding of the word of God, we understand that actually there is something that God is giving to us today, and that most of us, we have not yet come to that realization. And that is to say, the word to make the word work is not something that has to do with a metaphysical mechanism or something like you cannot explain. But thanks to God, because He has given us the Spirit, and the Spirit has given us, as in Corinthians says, that the Spirit will reveal unto us the deep things of God, the secret of God, and makes known them to us. And that is to say that we have the Spirit of God in us, which will always help us to know the mind of God. And this is the reason why, as we're here, to make the word work does not depend according to what we think with our human logic and reasoning. Because the wisdom of the Lord is foolishness unto man, and the wisdom of man is foolishness unto God. And therefore we understand there is that kind of controversy between the ideology of God and the ideology of man. And therefore, for us to be able to apply or to live the word of God in our lives, to have result from His word, we need to walk in line with His ideology, His mindset. And now Proverbs chapter 4 here says that, "My son, pay attention, attend to my words, incline thine ear unto my saying." And attend to my word, I'm going to give it in the different aspects, steps, so that we get to understand. But this is the vision. And first of all, we say attend to my word. And that is to say that we should give our ear to the word of God, to pay attention of what He's saying. "Let them not depart from thine eyes." In other words, God is telling us to visualize the word. Once I hear, and not just hear like in the sense of not paying attention, but I pay attention with all my attention within me. I focus on that word He's saying. And once we focus, really giving much more heed unto the saying of the Lord, and once it keeps on coming into me, what do I do next? I now visualize it. I visualize that word, which means I'm start seeing now, thinking through the word, because we as human beings, we think in pictures. And therefore, when now I hear the word, I now see it, what it says. I now create the pictures of what the word of God says. And that is visualizing. Because when I visualize the word, then it becomes real to me. And that's the perception, in other words. For the perception create the reality. And then he said that let them not depart from our eyes. So we shouldn't let it go from our eyes. We should keep on seeing the image of that word that is entering into our ears. Because that's the sense of course itself. That's the vision board we have. And therefore we can walk according to what we see. Do now the things because we see it now in the picture. Now we can be able to do it. Because we see how we can do it. Because once you see the image of things, it's easy for you to apply. Because you are seeing it's being portrayed to you with pictures. And goes by saying, but keep them in the midst of thine heart. Keep them in the midst of thine heart. After now visualizing the word and see it in the picture, and therefore what do I do with the picture? I internalize it. What does it mean? In other words, I see myself now doing that thing. I picture myself in the picture, if I can say so. I picture myself in that picture doing the things that I'm hearing. So it's no longer I see only the word itself, but I'm seeing now me in that word. I'm seeing myself in that word. And therefore, once I see myself there, it moves me because I now engage. I internalize it. I put it in my heart. And the heart there is an emotional part of our personality, which means I engage even with that emotion in that picture that is just saying that it's me who's there. It's becoming now me. It's no longer you. It's now I. And I see it. It's like a fantasy. I fantasize upon the picture of what he's saying, and I am the author doing the things. And it's that real observation of the picture that's been portrayed onto us in our minds. And therefore I engage my emotion with that picture, that it is me who is there, and becomes reality. Now my body will now definitely react and act according to the move that has been made in my inward. And that is, my thoughts and my emotions are both connected. That's our natural. And therefore, I see the picture, I internalize it, I see myself, which means I connect with the emotions like me there, doing the things. And that motivates and drives the body to act accordingly. So now I am acting based on what is inward me. And this is how we make the word of God work. And it's a very pattern that we have not been taught on how to. And we think maybe we're just gonna have the word coming in and then it's gonna do by itself. No. But we gotta engage, because God calls us to collaborate with Him, not Him doing everything. So when we get this, and this is the way we collaborate with God, working in partnership with Him, working together with Him, and that is being the doers of the word. And we can see now the results based on the action we took, because you cannot get a positive result or the expected result without you acting toward it. Then we must act toward it. We get the things, and that's the practicality of the faith in the Word of God. And therefore, in every aspect of your life, those are the two principles you need to make in place. You visualize the Word of God. You visualize it in picture. You hear it, and then we think by assigning a picture toward what you hear. Because as human beings, you can understand that wherever you hear something, if I am to say a word here, I say hand, you already have the picture of the hand. Even though they don't show you the picture, but you hear the word, you know already what is that. and you can picture it. And once you picture it, and I say move your hand, now you see yourself now moving your hand. It's a subconscious state where you find yourself now with the picture you see, and you understand somebody say move your hand. You can move it because you know how to move it. It's the hand you're gonna move, not the leg. And once you move your hands, you have acted upon what has been said. In picture you see, and then you see yourself moving it and do the things that you're supposed to do with that hand. And this is the way that God is given to us to do in the world, so that we receive everything that He has already predestined for us. Everything we need, God has already done it. He has already done it. But why now can't we receive it? Is because we do not act according to the word He gave to us, the instruction. Because this is an instruction manual for us to be able to get whatever we want to get. And once we see it here, now we can have it. We know how to get it. So this is the time for you to make the word of God work in your life.